Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. Now you would have remembered some weeks ago now, was it 2-3 weeks ago now, maybe not that long, we pulled a Poecilotheria metallica egg sac and we had a 50-50 result with it. 50% of it was good, 50% of it was bad. Now I think if I remember we managed to get 56 nymphs off of that, eggs with legs. Now we said then that we had another female that had an egg sac as well, and this is her here. Now we've done we've changed different things around with trying to breed our metallicas, because metallicas are notoriously difficult, and no one really seems to understand why it's so hard to actually get any kind of consistency. So like you might have a little bit of luck one year and then the next year it's all bad, and we haven't found the key to getting that consistency. So you'd have remembered in the last one our female was in a 30 by 30 by 45, which is the bigger exo. It's quite a bit bigger actually. This is a 20 by 20 by 30, and what we do is we pair them in the bigger exo, and then with the last one we decided to leave her in there to see if she would create an egg sac any sooner or any better, and there wasn't really any differences in the size of the enclosure. It didn't make any difference to what our spider had done, and this one here, she produced an egg sac in this size enclosure as well. Now we often hear many people commenting about that a 20 by 20 by 30 enclosure isn't large enough for Poecilotheria species of spider, and this has shown that it really is. We keep most of our adult female arboreals in this size enclosure, and it's perfectly adequate. Once they've set up home, they don't venture far from it, so they do really well in them. Now we're going to have a little look in the back here now, and we're going to see just what's been going on. She's had this now for around 40 days. So we're all being well, we'll see what kind of response we get from it. Now, if I turn that around, you can see there how she's created. We used the half cork bark in there, and so it's literally just a half of a cork tube, and we put it up against the back of the glass, and then that allows a space within. So if you imagine it's like that, it allows that amount of space. We don't want too much space in there because our spiders get a lot of security from a tight space, and this is what we tried to achieve by putting this bark in there. And as you can see, she has webbed it all up, but if this had been clear at the back, she wouldn't have been quite so happy. We wouldn't have got the confidence from her, which is why it's so important that we use the blackout boards. And you can also see there, because of the blackout board, she's not webbed all of this glass up that much. So you can possibly just about see inside there. Can you see her? If I get a bit of,
I can see it with my own.
if I get a bit of light on it, you should be able to see in there.
It's kind of blown it out a little. If you come maybe up to the top, yeah, up, like shine the light down into it.
You see in there? So what we're going to do now, we are going to try and take this egg sac away. We've got our tweezers. We've already got our nursery pot made up ready. Now one of the things that we done is, once we knew that this egg sac was actually here, we didn't touch this enclosure at all. So we've not sprayed it, we've not put any water in, we've not done anything at all. And quite often it goes for like a month like that, and quite often our plants tend to suffer, you know, everything dies back, and we almost lose the enclosure really. All our moss generally dies as well. These are small prices to pay for a viable egg sac. So the egg sac is the important thing. So what we're going to do now, I don't know if you'll be able to come in from above, you may be able to see, and I will try and we can do that like that. Is that easier? So what we're going to do is we're going to peel this back. You have to watch your fingers now. That is a beautiful looking egg sac. So we just clear this out, and as you can see there, she is already protecting that. Now, one thing that we have noticed with the metallicas is they actually, compared to a lot of spiders, they lose a lot of conditioning. Now you see she's being a little bit crafty now. Right, what we're gonna do, so as we don't end up having a tug of war like we did with the other one, we're gonna pull this in like this. See how she keeps one foot on it? Very, very crafty. Now she knows we want it. Please. Please. Okay, right. So what we're going to do, now I'm going to try and put a baffle between her and the egg sac. There we go. Now we've got that. As you can see there, what we were saying about the conditioning of her abdomen. See how shrunken it is? Really, really quite shrunken. What we're going to do is we're going to ask her to go back down. You just go down there gently. And then I can pick the bark up. There we go. Try and get it all without too much fuss. There we go. And we're in. Now as you see there, even though we've just taken her egg sac away, as long as we're nice and gentle, you'll see she didn't really get too upset. So I'm going to put the backing board back on, so she's now back in the dark. And that will keep her nice and happy. So we're going to move that over there. Let's see what we've got and whether we've got a viable. Oh, now this feels really good. When we've had the ones in the past, the last few egg sacs that we've done, they've felt very, very hard. This one feels very soft, which is normally a good sign that there's eggs with legs. Oh look, these are molts. This is looking very good. Oh, look at these. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Look at that. Oh, look at the size of them. Look at that. Oh, now that is a much better egg sac. Look at them, guys. As you can see, these are at the first nymph stage, so they're really, really good. That's amazing. That is a really, really successful egg sac. Absolutely beautiful. So that's we can call that a much better success compared to the last one. Don't they look wonderful? Absolutely perfect. Baby metallicas. I'm just in awe with them. I think they're absolutely amazing. Right, so what we're going to do with these ones, we are going to lift the whole thing up. And we're going to dip it in, see what we got. Oh, look at them. Now, so this is actually a really interesting situation we have now, because this female was kept exactly the same as the other female. There was no differences with their care. They were the same. And also, it was the same male that produced these. So why did we have some infertile eggs on the last sack, but this sack was good?
They're the same age and stuff.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I think this female is a little younger. Maybe she may be a year or two younger. There we go. Look at that. And all we've seen in there, as we can see here, is two black eggs. Or yeah, two black eggs out of all of that. So that is really, really cool. Look at them. Perfect. What we're going to do is we're going to just spread them out a little bit so that we can hopefully get a count. Right, I take a quick photograph and then we'll see how many we have. We can see what we got. There we go. Right, so now we've got that, we can do that later on. So that was an absolutely perfect egg sac. I think going at 40 days, so that's literally just a couple of days more than what our other ones was. So there's a difference there. Thinking about it, the only thing that's actually different from in the care that they had was our first female was on the bottom shelf and this female was on the top shelf. So we would have had a slight difference in temperatures from the top to the bottom. Now obviously in the top of the room it's going to be slightly warmer. Now that could have had something to do with the fact that our spiders here, although pulled literally a matter of a few days after the other ones in terms of their development, these are far more developed. So the warmer temperature has obviously had a part to play in these guys actually being more developed. Very, very cool egg sac. Really pleased with that. That's really good. Now we've got 3 more females that have been paired, and they're all up on the shelf as well. And interestingly enough, most of these females were paired up within around about a month to 6 weeks. So within that time frame, all of them had been paired. Now we've got 3 that still haven't produced sacs, although they look like they're about to, but they're still holding on. They're still hanging on. And this is one of the things that we're struggling with the metallicas. And it seems to be everyone seems to struggle with the same problems, is finding out the trigger points to how we can get our female to actually produce that sac. It's a really, really important thing to learn. And it's something that's evading the hobby at the moment. So when we can do it, where we can be consistent, then we can give ourselves a pat on the back and know that we've actually cracked the code, as it were. But at the moment, we're having to deal with it as we are. And this is a complete success compared to the 50-50 one that we had last time. So we've learned something. Definitely the higher temperatures are going to be better. Now, in our room, on the lower shelves, that can be anywhere between around about anywhere from sort of like, I don't know, 78 or so. It can be down there, sometimes dropping to 75. On the higher end of the shelves, on the top shelves where this girl came from, we are looking up around about 82, 83. So, you know, there's a few degrees difference there, and I'm sure that has had a massive, massive impact. Interestingly enough, the last Metallica with her egg sac, that was down on the low shelf. We also had our Ornata egg sac that you would have seen just recently. That was on the low shelf as well. Now that was another 50-50 egg sac. So yes, our pokies, I think, could actually benefit from being much, much higher in temperature than we actually give them. I think generally speaking, ours do really, really well at 80, but maybe breeding wise, we need to be up in the high 80s. And maybe, just maybe, that might produce better egg sacs and possibly get them to drop quicker. Because one of my theories is that the longer it takes our female to produce the egg sac, the less viable it may be. Generally speaking, most of our spiders, if they drop an egg sac within 2 months or so of being paired, they're normally really, really good egg sacs. But if they go for a long gestation period before they actually produce a sac, quite often there's mixed results. So I think there's something in it. There's definitely something there. But hey, today we are happy in the beastie room. What a wonderful success. I'm really, really pleased. All right, fingers crossed we learn a bit more from the other three. That's if they do anything. We still don't know. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that. These guys will be available very, very soon. Yes, everything is moving along nicely. Very, very cool. Right, I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I will see you soon, guys.